Today's video sees us travel to Germany to take over a team who, after a fantastic Bundesliga season last season, secured themselves Champions League football for this season. But they've never won a Bundesliga title, they've never won a Deutsche Pokal, and they haven't got a European title either. So, we could be the first manager to bring these trophies to the club. And the club who I am talking about is none other than Union Berlin. They are the side who we will be taking over today for this video to see how far we can take them in the world of football. So join me, my friends, and let's see what we can do with Union Berlin. I want to say a massive thank you for all the support. Appreciate all the love and support that all of you lovely people show me. 1,000 likes on this video would be incredible, and I hope that I find you all doing very well and having an awesome day. Without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. The settings we are going with are the exact same we ran when we took over Real Madrid. Ultimate difficulty, strict for negotiation strictness, and just to show you as well that we are in the Champions League, there you go. We are in a group with Napoli, Braga, and Real Madrid, actually. So, yeah, very tough Champions League group for us. And there we are, looking very proud to be unveiled as the new Union Berlin manager. So let's have a look at what the board want in this first season. I'll be honest, I'm not too confident about our chances in the Champions League. So, confidence rating 80. They want us to sign at least one player younger than 20 years old with a potential greater than the average. They want 2 seasons, increase the club worth by 30% through player sales, and replace 3 players from the team, with medium being our highest in terms of any objective, with brand exposure, domestic success, and financial. They want a Champions League place in the Bundesliga, so top 4, and reach the round of 16 stage of the Deutsche Pokal. And as for the Champions League, reach the quarter-final. Really? So let's have a quick look then at the team that we've got, and our best player, Leonardo Bonucci, who's retiring at the end of the season at the age of 36. Outside of him, we've got Rono, we've got Gersons, we've got Volland. I mean, it's a side that is okay, but I mean, look at the ages of some of these players, right? 30-year-old for our goalkeeper, 30-year-old for Volland, 36 for Trimmel, Toussaint, 26, not bad, 31-year-old for Robin, our captain, and yeah, the team will do well to win a Champions League game this first season. No disrespect to the players that we've got here, but I just don't see how we are expected to qualify out of our Champions League group. Quick note as well, if I do sell any of your favourite players, I apologise, but there's work to be done here at Union Berlin, and I plan to build a team who could become Champions League winners. 25 million euros is the budget we've got. And in terms of our youth academy, I am going to be trying to make sure I'm staying on top of the youth academy for this video, but the chances are you won't see any of the youth players unless they have an outstanding potential and grow really, really quickly. But I'm releasing all the players here, and then we'll send out some scouts, see what we can do with the youth academy. Ultimately, though, this first season is about trying to finish strongly in the Bundesliga, build the squad up, ready to challenge in future seasons. So, transfer window, important here. Let's get down to business. Our first transfer window at the club has now shut. So let me take you through the transfers that have happened. We start way back at the start of the transfer window. A number of players have left the club. You'll see as I scroll through for how much money. We signed 4 free agents. Chavez, Corona, Alvarez, and Vega all joining us from the free agents. We also signed 2 players for money. The first of whom being Alexander Prass from Sturm Graz for 13 million euros, 74 overall, very good potential. And we went out and we signed a new top-class goalkeeper. Casteels joins us from Wolfsburg for 18 million euros. He had a contract expiring at the end of this season, and I looked at our team and felt like a world-class goalkeeper might just be what we need to try and fight in the Champions League. No disrespect to Rono, but Casteels being 5 overalls higher, I felt that for 18 million euros, we had to bring him in. And this is now how our Union Berlin side looks. Casteels in goal. Gersons has been retrained to play left back instead of left wing back. We've got a front 3 of Vega, Becker and Corona. Chavez and Prass, partner Toussaint in midfield. Rono is on the bench, and as I say, being 5 overalls weaker than Casteels, he's an upgrade, and we'll see if he can be the difference between a few points and not. And now I shall see all of you lovely people at the end of this first season, where hopefully we might have a final to look forward to. I will be playing all finals that we reach. The rest of the matches will be sim though, but I will return midway through the season if anything big has happened that I need to show you. So, let's see. Can we reach a final in this first season with Union Berlin? Season 1 is almost over. Before the end of the season, though, we do have a Deutsche Pokal final to look forward to. We will take on Frankfurt for the chance to win our first piece of silverware as Union Berlin manager. Before we jump into that game, though, I do have a few things to show you in the way of transfers. So the last time I updated you with the transfers was when we signed Casteels from Wolfsburg, but since then, we've had a number of players leave the club, which meant we had a little bit of money to spend. Rono left for 12 million euros. Ruslan went to Leverkusen for 7 million euros. Juranovic joined Villarreal for 17 million. And Leyduni went to West Ham for 12 million, which meant we had a nice amount of money. And I was looking around and I decided to go and pick up a brand new centre-back. So, welcome to the club, Antonio Silva from Benfica. 37 million euros, 81 overall. I think he joined us when he was 78, 79 overall. So in just half a season, already grown quite nicely. And at 20 years of age, he might just be a player of top quality in this Union Berlin side for years to come. And we did have more deals as well. That happened, but this was after the January transfer window had shut. So these transfers will go through in next season's summer transfer window. Kral, Liete and Volland all had release clauses, which Sociedad, Lazio and Atletico Madrid decided to activate, so they'll be leaving us in the summer, along with Kaufmann and Stein as well, who will also be going to Lens and Volendam. And before I show you how we've got on in the Bundesliga this season, in our first season at the club, we have got a shot at silverware. Frankfurt in the Deutsche Pokal final, and if we actually look at the run-up to this final, you have to go all the way back to round 2 to find Bayern Munich. So the semi-finals, we knocked out Hoffenheim, Frankfurt knocked out Wolfsburg. Quarter-finals, you can see what happened there after we beat Hertha Berlin. Round 3, we then would face Hansa Rostock, knocking them out with a 3-0 victory. But as I say, Dortmund knocked out in round 3, but even more surprising, round 2, Bayern Munich were beaten by St. Pauli in a 3-2 scoreline. So, Dortmund, Bayern, both out as of round 3. Frankfurt's team is on your screen. A 3 at the back with a 3-4-3 formation. Mario Götze in their starting 11. And in terms of the favourites for this game, I'd say that Frankfurt are the slight favourites, but our side is very good. There it is for you. And I am optimistic that we can win this Deutsche Pokal trophy in just our first season. Becker, forward towards Prass. Prass will control, needs some support. Now Corona does arrive with said support. Finds Chavez! Oh, Union Berlin are in front in the Deutsche Pokal final. Chavez with a thunderbolt into the top right corner. And after 15 minutes, Union Berlin strike first. Much to the disappointment of Kevin Trapp and Frankfurt, but what a wonderful finish as he was found by Corona. And he takes one touch and on his right foot unleashes a thunderbolt that Trapp has little chance of saving. Oh, here come Frankfurt. Mamouche, good ball! Casteels forced into a save and Gersons can't keep it in play. Corner ball Frankfurt, response from them now. 35 minutes in, still leading Union Berlin, but defending to do here. And now as the ball goes into their penalty area, they need to try and win it back. Gertz's ball in. It's headed away, but only as far as a Frankfurt player. Still them with the ball. That's a nice disguise pass through. And Casteels was out so quickly, though, to prevent the shots. And there goes Gersons now. Left-hand side. It's brilliant by Robin Gersons, but he needs runners in front of him. And he's still gone here, Robin Gersons. Now finds Alexis Vega. Vega pulls it back. Becker towards Prass. Prass goes one more to Alvarez. Alvarez looks for the cross. It was overplayed in the end, though, by Union Berlin. They still have it. Chavez, Vega, Alexis Vega! 2-0 Union Berlin. They have Casteels to thank that the score was still in front for Union Berlin. But then after that, they break. We look like we overplay it a little bit, but we still work it back across. And Alexis Vega slots home for our second. Half-time team talk, as we were. do what we did in the first half, because we were brilliant in terms of making sure that we took our chances. Yes, we relied on Casteels for a couple of moments, a couple of big saves from him. We might just have to rely on him again, but all in all, 2-0 scoreline, you can't complain, as Frankfurt will change things here early on in the second half. They have themselves a corner. Mario Götze goes short. Ball goes all the way to the edge of the penalty area. Now it goes back in, but Chavez was alert to that. Says thank you very much, takes it straight back off them, and here goes Alexis Vega. Vega then with chance to run into space and make this 3-0 to Union Berlin, and he will do just that. Frankfurt caught on the counter. Terrible, terrible display from them. We cannot switch off though, because on ultimate difficulty, one lapse in concentration, and all of a sudden Frankfurt have a lifeline. Here is now Corona looking for the run of Becker. Becker, so pacey. No chance that Robin Koch is going to keep with him. And Becker makes it 4. Forget about switching off defensively against ultimates, because we've just found a 4th in this truly one-sided final, and Union Berlin are surely heading to their first Deutsche Pokal win. Alario, now Marmouche. Marmouche finds Kyogo. Off to Götze. And there was just a single minute. We are over that. Got to say as well, what a ball that is. Oh, they will get one back. Kyogo will score. Union Berlin almost in party mode, because their defence went walking. And Kyogo was free in the middle. Lovely volley. Where's that been from Frankfurt, though, for most of the game? That's the question they'll be asking. Union Berlin won't really care. And for me, Chavez, outstanding final here today from central midfield. Should be man of the match. But at the same time, 2 goals for Alexis Vega. I imagine he might well be man of the match. Casteels looks disappointed because he won't get a clean sheet. But it'll do little to dampen the Union Berlin's spirits of their fans and players when they see their side hoist the Deutsche Pokal final trophy aloft. So you've just seen us win our first trophy as Union Berlin manager, lifting the Deutsche Pokal after the 4-1 victory over Frankfurt. Question is, how did the Bundesliga go for us though? Let's have a look. Right, we weren't able to win the title. Surprisingly, that went to Bayern Munich. But we did finish 5th, which was one place below the objective of trying to achieve Champions League football next season, which I'm not too disheartened about, because in terms of the team, I wasn't really sure we'd be able to compete in the Champions League. So finishing 5th, Europa League football, we'll take that. Maybe we can win a Europa League trophy. In terms of the Champions League, you'll see in a moment, we actually did manage to get out of our group. We finished top of it, going undefeated, but 3 draws out of the 6. It was a brilliant group stage from us. I was quite optimistic, actually, after we were left the group stages, and then went into the round of 16, and we were knocked out by Sociedad in a 4-2 aggregate win. So, yeah, Champions League run. The group stage is brilliant. Knockout rounds, not so much. And the final ended up being Bayern, Man City. City did go on to win it. As for the Europa League, that was won by Liverpool, and the Conference League went to Freiburg in a 2-1 victory over Besiktas. And now we'll take a look at how the lads got on this season. Castiles actually did go up by 1 overall, played all 47 games we featured in this year, along with Alvarez, Gersons, Corona as well. Vega got 27 goals, 17 in 34 in the Bundesliga. Kevin Volland actually had a very good season. And as mentioned, he will be leaving for Atletico Madrid at the age of 31. If it had been younger, I probably would have kept him. But 31 now. And I do have ambitions next season of bringing in a top striker. Alexander Prass played 28 matches. Went up by 3 overall. Silva up by 2. To 81. Corral will be leaving the club as well. As I'm scrolling through, if you want to take a look at any player in more detail, pause the video. But we also had a number of players from our youth academy. So as I'm getting to the bottom of the list here, you'll see we've got a few, hopefully good players for the future. But if not, players that we can sell on for some money. The most, I suppose, promising of those players is this guy, Schuster, centre-back, 66 overall. And we've also got Richter, a striker, 63 overall. Fontaine, 65 overall left-back / centre-back. And that, my friends, is the end of Season 1. So, let's get Season 2 underway. Let's see how much money we've got to spend and see what we can do with Union Berlin in Season number 2. Because of playing in the Europa League, I would like to win the Europa League if possible. Having already won the Deutsche Pokal, that's the first trophy ticked off. And the money we've got for Season 2, 138 million euros. And that's before we sell any players as well. I was not expecting to have this much money. So, let's get to spending it. 2 new star players join us here at Union Berlin. Firstly, welcome to Federico Chiesa from Juventus as part of a 60 million euro deal. An 85 rated left midfielder to play out wide on the left or the right hand side for us. And along with him, we also brought in Wahi, who is someone I just recently signed on my Leeds United career mode. And I'm excited to see just how good he becomes. So, I brought him here to Union Berlin, and we'll see how well he does for us here in Germany. And we are also saying hello to Claudio Manu Kone from Mönchengladbach. 21 million euros is a steal for a player of his quality. Mönchengladbach, mistake letting him go, 80 overall. And he'll be a very good squad player for us with potential to become a top midfielder in world football. We've got a Super Cup against Bayern. Now, I'm not going to be playing this, although technically it is a final. I will go ahead and sim it. Who knows? We might win it anyway. That's the team that we've gone with. Quick sim. Let's find out the results. And we do actually win it as well. Alexis Vega with a double. And Alphonso Davies did get one back for Bayern. But Union Berlin have won another trophy, the Super Cup. Season 2's transfer window has just closed in the summer, so let's have a look at all of the transfers. You already saw a couple of them that we did make, but starting at the beginning of this window, Amrabat and Lindelof both joined from the free agents. 2 fantastic additions to the team. Herrera went to Wolfsburg, as we also let go of a few other players too. Wahi in for 60 million euros, Chiesa for 60 million euros, Kone for 21 million, Schmidt left the club, Löwing left the club, Forsby as well, Skarka, Lehmann, Schuster. A few players actually out on loan though, so we'll see how their development goes this season. Endo left, Fontaine left. We did actually sign one more player as well, with Kurzawa coming in. In fact, there was a few more free agents. Lee Dong-kyung and Fraser Forster as well. The reason for that and those signings is I looked at our team, and at one point we had 2 reserve players. Our squad depth was looking a little bit small. So I went out to the free agents. I wasn't planning on bringing in any more free agents, but yeah, I recognise we needed probably a few more players just to fill out the squad. So it's exactly what we did, signing those players. And this is the team then, ahead of this new season. Europa League potential, that's what I'm hoping for. Try and win the Europa League, see what we can do in the Bundesliga. And if we reach the Deutsche Pokal final again, that'd be quite nice to win it again. But Champions League, that's what we want. So top 4 in the Bundesliga this season, please. It's the Europa League semi-finals, and we've been drawn against RB Leipzig. We have a chance to reach our first European final as manager of Union Berlin. Marseille-Napoli, the other game to get here. We knocked out Hoffenheim, another German side, and in the round of 16, beat Newcastle. So, yeah, it's been an interesting run for us in this Europa League, and we want to go one step further, but we've got a double leg to play against Leipzig, the first of which is up right here. Let's have a look and see what happens in this first leg then, as we will win by 1-0, my friends. One game away from the Europa League final. Second leg is here. Is it going to be Europa League final for us? It is indeed. Back-to-back 1-0 wins. We'll see us reach the final where we will face Napoli because they've beaten Marseille 4-1 on aggregate. We'll be the underdogs, but we'll give it our all to lift this trophy. The Europa League final. St. James's Park is the stadium. Napoli, the opponents. Look at their team. They have outstanding players. Upamecano at the back. Kvaratskhelia left wing. Osimhen up front. We are the underdogs, but we're here and we're here to win. Let's have a look at our starting 11. Here it is on your screen then. Castile starts in goal. Gerson, Silva, Doki, the captain, Alvarez, Toussaint, Chavez, Kone, Vega, Wahi, and Chiesa. I'm saying it like our team isn't good. Our team is brilliant as well. Mate, Napoli have had this ball on the edge of our penalty area what feels like the last 20 minutes. Lobotka trying to find a way through. Suso can't do it. Gersons wins it back. Finally, we get it back. I'm not joking you. They had that ball in there for so long. And that ball through, looking for Alexis Vega. And Vega will reach it first. And in the middle is Wahi. Vega sent very wide. Cuts it back inside. Goes for goal. He just seemed to run too quickly for himself. Before he knew it, he was running out of room and almost running off the pitch, Alexis Vega. He was rapid. What a chance it was, though, for us. Not taken. Brilliant by Chiesa, though, as he steals it back off of Mendy. And now Federico Chiesa looking for the run of Wahi. It is Wahi. It is back towards Manu Kone. Mere with a big save. Toussaint winning it back from Elmas. Now ball forward for Chiesa. Advantage played by the referee, and actually Mendy's the one ended up on the floor as he was trying to win it back from Federico Chiesa, who says see you later to one. Chiesa, that is brilliant. Wahi pulling it across. Chavez can't get there. It was just too far in front of Chavez for him to tap the ball home. Union Berlin, though, have been brilliant in this final so far. Here goes Victor Osimhen. Antonio Silva has done a brilliant job against him tonight of keeping him quiet. And Osimhen will keep hold of the ball for the moment. Back the way of Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo. Chance now to put the cross in. Pulls it back to Lobotka. Lobotka and Juisa. Advantage played by the referee. Elmas. Kvaratskhelia goes for goal. Castile saw it late. Got his hand to the ball, and vitally so. Change for Union Berlin. Pras comes on. Manu Kone goes off. 18 minutes left of this Europa League final. Corner ball, Union Berlin. Short corner is on. Chavez is here. And Chavez will give it back to Alexis Vega. Vega will find Antonio Silva. Antonio Silva will find Doki. Doki to Robin Gersons. We've worked it all the way back out here when we should have just looked to score ourselves. Oh, Chiesa goes for the ambitious, and he's hit the woodwork. As I was saying, it was really poorly worked from us. We tried a short corner routine that just didn't work out, but we still managed to get the ball back in. And then Chiesa's found at the back post. He goes for the ambitious, and he hits the woodwork. Alexis Vega, Antonio Silva won his header and has continued his run forward here. Wahi, now Pras looking for Chiesa. Chiesa back to Pras. Oh, what a goal! Alexander Pras, substitute inspired. He finds the back of the net off the underside of the crossbar, and Union Berlin fans are going mental. Goal decision system given, and Napoli cannot believe it. Alexander Pras has scored a goal that will go down in Union Berlin's history if, in these final 6 minutes, Napoli cannot respond. Shout out to our defence, by the way. To keep Kvaratskhelia and Victor Osimhen quiet is not an easy job, but they have done that so wonderfully tonight. And Alexander Pras has scored the goal which may just see us lift this Europa League title. Chiesa finding Alvarez, who is forward here. And the game acknowledged to just hold on to the ball for the minute and frustrate Napoli further to allow them absolutely nothing. Toussaint forced to go back to Antonio Silva. And he'll find Doki, who is moments away from lifting this trophy. 2 additional minutes. Union Berlin, it is a new era at the club. We are at the helm of it, as Toussaint will go for a shot from distance, because why not? Seconds to go. And it's actually a free kick, which Chavez will get to take. And there you have it! Union Berlin have won the Europa League. We take our trophy count to 3. And this is an outstanding performance. Alexander Prass with a historic goal. And that's the reason I like making these career mode videos, because you get to see a historic moment like that one, where Alexander Prass writes his name in the history books of Union Berlin with a winner in the Europa League final against Napoli off the bench. Incredible. That's what football gives you. Incredible stories. And as for our Bundesliga performance in Season 2, we finished 5th again behind Leverkusen, Leipzig, Dortmund and Bayern Munich. But because we won the Europa League, it does mean we'll be in the Champions League next season, not the Europa League. And rather frustratingly, we did reach the semi-finals of the Deutsche Pokal, where we faced Hamburg, a side that you'd expect us probably to beat. Well, we lost 2-0 in the semi-final, so they made the final, lost to Leipzig, so Leipzig won the Deutsche Pokal. But for the second season running, Bayern knocked out in round 2, after they were beaten by Hannover 96. Champions League winners were Real Madrid, so that is who we'll face in the UEFA Super Cup next season. And the Europa League, that was won by us, of course. The Conference League went to Ajax in a 1-0 win over Sociedad. And whilst this squad has been remarkable this year for us, there will be a number of players we have to replace, like, for example, Kevin Alvarez may not get as much game time next season. Robin Gosens, similar type of story. Chavez, similar type of story. Chiesa, though, will be playing. Vega, I said he had a very good season. He has done 24 and 52 in all competitions for goals. Silva there, 51 games from him. Toussaint as well, outstanding season from our CDM. And I will say, I wasn't really sure Toussaint was going to be as important for us as he has been. But yeah, really, really good. Wahi up by 4 to 85. Doki, our captain, might not get as much game time next year. Kone up by 3, Amrabat up by 3, Lindelof up by 1. Sent a few players out on loan this year. How did they get on whilst out on loan? We'll take a look at that as we scroll through. If I'm not mistaken, Fontaine went up by 4. Lehmann has grown by 9, though, to 69 overall. And a few of these guys will be coming back next season. I'm not sure if any of them are on a 2-year loan, though. If not, we'll be loaning them out again. So that takes our trophy haul then to 3 trophies won. A Deutsche Pokal, a Super Cup and a Europa League. As we head into Season 3, I'm just conscious about what the board will want in the way of objectives, because it was a pretty outstanding season from us. I'm hoping they're not going to say, like, win the Champions League. Because although I think we could do that, it is tough. Let's start with the objectives then. What are they saying? They want us to win the title of the Bundesliga, win the cup, and reach the final of the Champions League. So some very, very tough objectives. Sign a veteran player as well. Right, well, how much money have we got to spend to do that? 110 million euros, less than we had last year. I mean, the board said sign a veteran player, so I signed a veteran player. It just so happens that that player is Lionel Messi. And he is going to be playing at Union Berlin this season. I mean, it's not very often you get to say that you've signed Messi, right? And not only that, the fact that the board wanted us to sign a veteran player, I mean, I was going to sign him anyway. So here he is, and he'll wear the number 10 shirt this season. And that should complete that veteran signing objective, I hope. Let me have a quick look at this. And I don't really know where he's going to play this year, because he actually is a centre forward. I might change our formation to play a cam rather than a CDM, although I do want to train Messi to play a different position. So if we switch to a 4-3-3 attack, it allows us to have Messi in the team just like that. And joining Messi at Union Berlin this season, we brought back a player to the Bundesliga who'll be familiar to a lot of Dortmund fans. Jadon Sancho is back in Germany. He's joined us for 50 million euros, and we'll see what he can do back in the Bundesliga. Our latest signing of this transfer window sees Robin Lehnerman sign from Sociedad for 50 million euros. The 86 rated centre-back will play alongside Antonio Silva this season. And we do have the UEFA Super Cup to look forward to here then. Real Madrid, our opponents, the Champions League winners, against us, the Europa League winners. And actually, let me have a quick look at their team and see what it is looking like. So, there is their starting 11. Bellingham, Valverde, Kroos and Tchouaméni. Quite surprised to see Toni Kroos still in their midfield, but he is. Matthias Tell and Evan Ferguson are up front for them. For us, here's our starting 11, featuring a familiar face to Real Madrid. Lionel Messi plays against them again. Bellingham, now to Toni Kroos. Kroos' ball through to Matthias Tell. Robin Lehnerman is with him. But Matthias Tell does come away with possession. A ball back post for Reece James! And it'll be Real Madrid who leads. And the frustration from Casteels tells you the story, because he is absolutely livid with himself. He seems to pull his hands away from the effort of Reece James. Real Madrid at this stage are very much the more dominant side, with Jude Bellingham going closest now. Casteels with a save, but they have put the pressure on us since going 1-0 up. And if anything, they look likely to grab a second momentarily. And the more happy of the two managers at the moment will certainly be Carlo Ancelotti, whose side took the lead. Yes, you could say, as somehow Casteels has said that, you could say that it was fortunate for them to be in the lead. But since then, they have well and truly taken control of this game. And as I mentioned, Casteels with a brilliant save there to make sure the score does not go to 2-0. Union Berlin need a chance because we have been so much on the back foot. It's the first time, really, we've had an opportunity to get out of our half, and we've done it wonderfully with Wahi now bearing down towards Real Madrid's goal. It is Wahi towards the back of Real Madrid's nets, and he'll find it. Top right corner. It is one apiece in this UEFA Super Cup. Here is Messi. Union Berlin looking for a chance to play forward. Messi will find Wahi. And Real Madrid are in real trouble because here is Wahi. And Wahi will find a second. And somehow we have turned the game on its head. Real Madrid way too committed in the attack. One simple ball through by Messi and we were in. And what's frustrating as well, number 3 of Real Madrid. I've seen it a few times now. The AI, when they're defending, it's happened in the My Player save as well. For Wrexham, you can kind of see they should be a lot more alert. Once Wahi, you can see him get through. Eder Militao is their number 3. He's got to start making his move back towards goal, but he sort of delays it, takes a step back, gives Wahi all the time in the world, and he'll finish. Second half back underway here, and Union Berlin clinical. Wahi with 2 chances, scored them both. Real Madrid, who looked like they were controlling the game at 1-0, all of a sudden are now finding themselves having to fight back. Lovely little 1-2 there. Chiesa now as he whips the cross towards the back post, looking for Jadon Sancho. Messi to win the header. Messi does do well there to win said header, but it's back with Real Madrid again. And that is brilliant by Federico Chiesa to win it straight back. Oh, it's absolutely brilliant by Chiesa. And here's Messi. Messi to Kone. Saved by Courtois, but Kone will pick up the loose ball. Find Alvarez. Alvarez picks out Messi. Oh, it would have been the story if Messi could have scored. But he hasn't. Courtois denies him. Tchouaméni. Now Bellingham. Bellingham. Away from one challenge. Vinicius Jr. Brilliant skill. Oh, wow. Vinicius Jr. shows us how it's done. Lovely footwork as he gets round the challenge, but the finish is exquisite. We are all square again. There you go. See you later. And that is an outstanding finish as well to go with it. And it's time for a change then. Alexander Prass is coming on for Manu Kone, the man who won us the Europa League final off the bench. He's coming on here. Can he write another piece of history? in the history of Union Berlin. Alexis Vega also on for Sancho, who's had a pretty quiet game by all accounts. And I'll tell you right now, that was not where I aimed that pass whatsoever from Alexis Vega to give it straight back to Real Madrid. And that might lead to a chance. Mo Salah's come on for them. Here he is with the first chance of the game. For him to put a ball in. Bellingham, shot goes in, saved. Alvarez finds Chiesa. And I tell you, Union Berlin just got away with that. Chiesa, as he has now a pass on inside towards Pras. Pras turns, find Wahi. Wahi towards Messi. Real Madrid are really putting the press on now and not giving us any time whatsoever. That ball over the top. Antonio Silva tries to win it first time and second. Bellingham looks to have got through. Composure shown. Toni Kroos has just put Real ahead with 12 minutes to go. Antonio Silva thought he'd won it back. He hadn't done. Bellingham gets through. Robin Gersons expects the shot. Bellingham doesn't shoot. Instead remains composed. Back heels towards Toni Kroos. And the skipper puts Real Madrid in front. Need the ball back if we are to try and get something from this, as Jude Bellingham has it. But he's so calm, he's so composed that he knows all he's got to do is hold on to it. And so is Tchouaméni, because they are chewing down the clock, Real Madrid. And that is going to be that. I can't be too disheartened. It's the Champions League winners who will come out victorious. And that has been the story a lot for the UEFA Super Cup. We gave it a good go. But Real Madrid, in the end, just had too much for us on the night. You've seen a few of our transfers, but let's take you through them all now. Sancho, of course, joining Messi. Corona went to Newcastle for 20 million euros. Jekyll left the club for 7 million. Becker's gone to Almeria for 14. Grill left. Becker has gone out on loan. So has Schmidt, Weber, Lehmann, Kraft, Bush, Schuster, Fontaine. And we brought in Aaron to play backup to Castells. He is, I think, 76 rated. So yeah, very much a backup goalkeeper for us. Robin Lehmann for 50 million euros. And then the final transfer that's happened in this window was Richter leaving on loan to Besiktas. It's been a pretty good start as well to the Bundesliga season. 2 wins from 2. But I'll see you at the end of this season then, my friends. We have new champions in the Bundesliga. And unfortunately, it's not us. Bayer Leverkusen lift the title 6 points ahead of Bayern and Leipzig and 8 points ahead of us as we finish 4th. We have, however, made it to another Deutsche Pokal final, which I won't be playing this one because we've already seen us win the title once today. So I'll go ahead and sim this game and hopefully we can win it for a second time. The team is on your screen and we will be simming the game. I'm fully expecting us to win this. We are the favourites over Stuttgart. No disrespect to them. Let's see what happens. And it is indeed a 2-0 victory. So another Deutsche Pokal victory for Union Berlin. As for our Champions League performance this season, we finished second in a tough group. You can see there between Inter, Sevilla and Salzburg. 3 teams could have got out of the group. We and Inter were the 2 eventually to get into the knockout round. Sevilla down in the Europa League, but only by a single point. Round of 16, we'd face Benfica. We got through 5-4 on aggregate, which meant in the quarterfinals we would go on to face Bayer Leverkusen. You've seen that they are the league champions this season. They beat us 5-4 on aggregate, which ended our Champions League run. Semi-finals, they were knocked out by PSG, who eventually would go on to lose in the final to Liverpool. The Europa League was won by Manchester United. Sevilla did go on to reach the final of the competition. And the Conference League was won by Lens. And here is how the players got on this season then. So, Chiesa up by 2 to 89 rated. Alvarez up to 84. Chavez up to 84 as well. Wahi with 31 goals in all competitions to 88 rated now. Castells at the age of 33, still growing nicely, now 89 overall. Antonio Silva, a fantastic defender. And judging by my manager rating at the end of this season, we possibly only have 1 more year at Union Berlin unless we win the Bundesliga title and possibly maybe even a Champions League, because my manager rating has dropped incredibly from how we were previous. So, yes, it might be our final season at the club next year unless we can win what the board wants us to win. We're still chasing that Bundesliga title. We're still chasing that Champions League. We've won Europa League, 2 Deutsche Pokals, but it was the Bundesliga we wanted the most, to win the first in the club's history. We are still in the job at Union Berlin for the next season for now. Financially, 159 million euros for this season. And looking at the team to strengthen, I'm looking at central midfield, possibly centre attacking midfield, as Messi is now 86 rated and will most likely decline in rating as the season progresses. So yeah, they're the 2 main positions. So we'll see what we can do with the money we've got. Our first big signing of this transfer window, Florian Wirtz in from Leverkusen. Contract expiring at the end of this season. 120 million euros is a steal. We signed him for Real Madrid in the video I did when I took over as Real Madrid manager, but he didn't really play all too much for us. So he's going to be a star here at Union Berlin. Our next signing sees Bruno Guimaraes join from Milan, with Chavez going the other way for a swap deal and 43 million euros. If we're serious about our title hopes this season and maybe even a Champions League win, we have to spend the money. Welcome to Union Berlin to Kvaratskhelia, who joins for 130 million euros. Yeah, 140 million euros almost from Napoli. 92 overall. And you'll know why we've signed him in just a moment when I show you all the transfers that have happened. Expiring contracts are just so good to utilise in career mode. Ruben Dias, he had a deal up at the end of the season at Man City, which meant he was valued at 100 million euros. We've got him for 83 million euros. And he's 90 overall. And again, I wasn't planning on bringing in a centre-back, but when you see the transfers, you'll know why. So let's start at the beginning of this transfer window, where Messi left the club for 41 million euros. His contract was up at the end of the season. He's now 39. I thought if we can get some money for him now, that'd be brilliant. Since he's left, he's decreased by 2 overalls and gone down by 10 million as well. So I feel like that was a great deal for us to make. And then we signed Florian Wirtz to replace him from Leverkusen, weakening them, strengthening us, and hopefully he'll help us to a Bundesliga title. 91 overall, 120 million euros. We really did take advantage of contract expiries this season. From the free agents, we signed Araujo. He's a 75 rated left back. In terms of his signing and a couple more players from the free agents, that was to try and complete some objectives we had with the board to improve our manager rating. So we signed a few young players from the free agents to try and complete the objectives. So Araujo will probably never play for the club, but that's why we signed him. We also let go of a few players, as you can see, and then Bruno Guimaraes joined the club from Milan. Chavez going the other way. Fantastic servant to the club, Chavez, but 30 years of age, and I just felt like we needed to strengthen our midfield. So yeah, welcome to him. And Anderson and Orbert were the other 2 players from the free agents to join. Sancho went to Juve, a player who I had quite high hopes for. And between him and Vega just ended up having a better season, and in general, played more. So when Juventus came calling, 98 million euros later, I couldn't say no. So Sancho will be playing for Juventus this season. And that is why, of course, we've signed Kvaratskhelia. Robin Lehmann has gone to Juve as well, as he leaves for 105 million euros. Again, another one of those deals that you just can't say no to. When you look at his value at 66, you have to sell him when they're coming in with a big offer. I negotiated it for 105. Initially, it was 85 million euros, but managed to get them to pay 105, so very happy with that. Lindelof left for Roma. Kvaratskhelia joined for 140 million euros. And then, of course, Ruben Dias in as the replacement to Robin Lehmann for 83 million, with Richter leaving to Ghent for 3 million. So this is how our team now looks. And I'm putting this out there. If we fail to win the Bundesliga this year with a team like this, I am going to be astounded. We have to win the league with a squad as good as this. So with that being said, I shall see all of you lovely people at the end of this season, where we'll hopefully have a Champions League final to look forward to, and we'll have been crowned Bundesliga champions. We have made it to the Champions League semi-finals, where Real Madrid stand in our way of a spot in the final. We beat fellow German side Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals, 4-3 on aggregate to get here. So let's see what this first leg result will bring us. We do have a red card to Kone, which means he can't start the game here, so we'll have to replace him. And the first leg results is a 2-1 victory. Chiesa and Florian Wirtz scoring after Valverde gave Real Madrid the lead. And as of right now, we are 4 points clear at the top of the Bundesliga table with 3 games to go. Hoffenheim are our next opponents. A 3-1 victory over Hoffenheim. Chiesa double, Kvaratskhelia scoring 1. And that takes us 1 step closer to lifting this Bundesliga title, my friends. Before we worry about the Bundesliga title, though, it's the second leg, and we're away at the Santiago Bernabeu for this one. And you can see our team on your screen. We've already got a first leg advantage. Can we carry it through to a Champions League final? Quick sim! We do. 2-2 on the night. 4-3 on aggregates. And actually, it looks like we are already champions of the Bundesliga for the first time in the history of Union Berlin. Leipzig lost 3-0 to Wolfsburg, which means they're now 7 points behind us and only 6 points to play for. So this is us winning the Bundesliga, my friends. And so it is confirmed. We have won the Bundesliga title in 2027, losing just 1 game in the process. I said at the start of this season that if this team don't win the title, I'll be shocked. So, well, I think I said astounded, didn't I? But even so, 10 points clear, 34 games played, only losing 1 single match is outstanding from the lads. But we do now have a Deutsche Pokal final against Bayern Munich and then a Champions League final to look forward to. And that might be the end of the video. So, Deutsche Pokal final, having already won it twice. I'm simming this. Bayern Munich, they will win silverware. Pavard and Kane scoring in a 2-1 victory for them. And for us to lift the Champions League trophy, I've got to beat my favourite team in Arsenal. It's the 2027 Champions League final. It's Arsenal taking on Union Berlin, and we are in search of what could be a famous season in the history books of Union Berlin. It already is with a Bundesliga win, the first in the club's history, and we might just add a Champions League to said history right here. Arsenal's starting 11 probable lineup is there on your screen, and it is a very good side. You'd expect no less. They've reached the final for a reason. And for us, this is our starting 11, the best we've got at the club. Kvaratskhelia, Wahi and Chiesa, all above 90 rated now. Arguably the best front three in world football. Arsenal's is not bad either, but it's a side who have done amazing things here this season for us. Can we go one step closer and lift this Champions League? Let's find out, my friends. Here is Ødegaard. Now then, Florian Wirtz steals it back. Brilliant feat as well by Florian Wirtz to carry us out of our defence. Wirtz, the run from Wahi, I think he may just be offside, but the flag stays down, and Wahi will smash it into the top corner, and it is a moment to remember for Union Berlin and their supporters. The offside flag stays down. I'm sure we will have another look at this, because Arsenal might just be claiming for the offside decision. It was brilliant by Florian Wirtz on the edge of our penalty area. Quick feet to get us out of danger. And then he plays the through ball to Wahi, who does not pass up opportunities like that one. But Arsenal will be asking the questions of the officials. And of course, there is no VAR, so I'll have to do it myself. From the moment that Wirtz passes this ball through right there, Wahi is played onside by Kieran Tierney. Goal stands, rightfully so. And it's Union Berlin who strike first in this Champions League final. Saka, now Ødegaard. Ødegaard's trying to provide some inspiration for Arsenal. Robin Gosens is with him, and Gosens can't get the ball back off of Ødegaard, but Guimaraes does. And now Florian Wirtz back to Wahi again. It's a carbon copy, and Wahi is causing Arsenal all sorts of problems. It is Wahi, and he'll find a second. This man is lethal in front of goal. It is the same combination that is causing Arsenal all sorts of problems. Wirtz to Wahi, Wahi into the top corner. And there is little that Aaron Ramsdale could do about either finish. Arsenal being stunned by 2 moments from Union Berlin, in which Wahi has punished them. But here comes Rafa Leão now for Arsenal, as he's looking for a response. Brilliant by Ruben Dias. It was good feet by Rafa Leão to open up the space for the shot, but then Ruben Dias did his defensive work brilliantly. Now, corner ball, Ødegaard into that near post. I'm not sure who it's come off in the last touch. Chiesa's trying to get us out here, and that is half-time. Here is Chiesa. There's space for him to utilise here following the Arsenal free kick. Wirtz and Chiesa combine brilliantly. Wahi's on a hat-trick, and he is towards the back post. Chiesa looks to pick him out. He's at the post. Oh, that could have been so wonderful if that had have nestled in the back of the net from Wahi. So close to his hat-trick in the Champions League final. Wahi again. Now Gosens to Kvaratskhelia. Now finds Bruno Guimaraes. Guimaraes opens up for him. Shot goes through, blocked by Arsenal. They've had a few shots of their own, but at the moment, nothing to test Casteels because the shots have been blocked by our resilient defence. Aaron Ramsdale. This is where we tried to pen Arsenal in, but he's found a pass out. And now Patino towards Ødegaard. Ødegaard allowed to turn here. Will play Hakimi down the right-hand side. Robin Gosens going over to him. Hakimi skips round his challenge. Gersons is back at him though brilliantly. And now here is Saka into the area. It's Bruno Guimaraes mopping up for Union Berlin and feeding the ball forward to Kvaratskhelia, who's got Florian Wirtz to his right, who's got Wahi through the middle, and Wahi for his hat-trick to finish the game, and he will do just that. Union Berlin are going to do it. We are going to be a historic manager for the club. Ødegaard, Leao's away from Alvarez. Leao's into the area. Alvarez, oh, he went sliding in. It's brilliant by Leao, but again, it's defensively so good by Union Berlin. I say that, and then we do have to rely on Casteels. Robin Gersons down the line here for Kvaratskhelia, who is met by Hakimi, but he turns back inside. Has got past Hakimi. Oh, that is absolutely delightful! And it's finished so wonderfully as well, as it's 4-0 to Union Berlin. As an Arsenal fan, I'm sat here and my head would be in my hands, but as manager of Union Berlin, this is delightful. Look at this. Kvaratskhelia, a little back heel. Bruno gets to the ball. Left-footed finish past Aaron Ramsdale. In off the inside of the post. We can cherish this Champions League victory. There you have it. Wahi's hat-trick. Guimaraes with one. And Union Berlin are Champions League winners of 2027. After 4 seasons as Union Berlin manager, we have guided them to their first Bundesliga title and their first Champions League victory as well. Not to mention a Europa League win in there and a couple of Deutsche Pokal wins to go with it. We did, however, lose the UEFA Super Cup to Real Madrid, so that was a bit disappointing, but that's what happens, and it's been a thoroughly enjoyable episode to play through and record for all of you lovely people. I do like making these type of videos where we take over a club and only play the finals because it lets me create a story. I'd say story, it lets me create history, right, with the club. Because think back to that Europa League final where Alexander Prass comes off the bench and scores the only goal in the game to write his name in the history books of Union Berlin as the match winner of their Europa League title. And then Wahi's hat-trick in the Champions League final, just another player to write his name in the history books. Yeah, it's been a joy to play through today, and I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, a like would be greatly appreciated. A lot of work went into recording this and editing, so would massively appreciate a like. The support shown on the Real Madrid video was incredible. Over 1,500 likes, so I really, really appreciate that. And the next video, you might see me take over as a manager of our own club. I've been seeing some comments recently asking me to manage our own team, so we might do that. But if you've any suggestions for teams you'd like to see me manage in a future video, do leave a comment down below, and I will try to get around to maybe making a video on them. But as I scroll through the team one final time today, we spent a lot of money this season. I felt we had to. Failure to win the Bundesliga and maybe even the Champions League. I feel like our job would have been in trouble. If not, we would have been sacked. So yeah, we had to go for it this year, which is why we spent so much money on the likes of Wirtz, Kvaratskhelia, who of course had a fantastic season, 28 goals in all competitions with 15 assists. Wirtz as well in double figures for goals and assists. Chiesa with 21 in all competitions, but Wahi with 35 goals to his name, 23 and 34 in the Bundesliga. Only Harry Kane scored more than him this year, which means as we end today's video, 2 domestic cups won, 2 league titles won, 2 Continental Cups won, and 214 matches played, 137 wins, 46 draws, and 31 defeats, with our record transfer fee of 139 million euros for Kvaratskhelia. But that, my friends, is where we will leave today's episode. A huge thank you for all the love and support that all of you lovely people continue to show me. Hope you've enjoyed this one. We'll be back with more content on the channel, so if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. I'm trying to reach 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and you can help me with that. So yeah, huge thank you as always, and I'll see you in the very next video on the channel. Until then, take care, stay safe, look after each other, have a fantastic day, have a fantastic evening, and I'll catch you all again soon. Adios.